Welcome to the R video tutorial on importing data into R. In this video tutorial, you'll learn how to import data into R by using both choosing the file and by specifying the path to the file. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is read the file in just by choosing the file. And in order to read any file in, we have to use a read function. So data1, and then we have the assignment operator. The function we're going to use in this first example is read.csv. And this is going to read in a CSV file. And a CSV file is a comma-separated values file, which means between all of the values in the table, there's a comma. That's how it knows one number from another number. The next statement is file.choose, open parentheses, close parentheses. And what this will do is it will open up a window that will allow you to select the file that you want to use. And the next statement, which is the header statement, says whether or not the first line are labels that tell what each column corresponds to, or whether the first line is actually data. So if its header is equal to true, then that means that the first row in your data set are the labels. If header equals false, then that means it should import that row as data as well. Okay, so let's give this a try. And I'm going to print the data out where it says show the data. You just type in the name of the data set and it will print it out. Okay, now we see this window has popped up that allows us to go and pick the file that we're interested in. I have an Oyster data set that I'm going to pick. You simply click on it and say open. Click on open. And the second statement, that data1, just showed the data. So here's my data, and I can go look in the console window. I can scroll up so that I can see all of my data, and I can see it's all here. And you can see the first row here are the column headings. So I have trial, tile ID, set, log of set, biomass, organic matter, and so on. So this allows me to read in the data by just simply choosing the file. Another thing that you might want to do, especially if you're doing regular reports and things like that, is to be able to read your data in from a text file by specifying the path. For example, if you always label your data the same, then it's easy to just read it in from a text file, and you can use code to do that by specifying the path. Okay, in this example, I'm using the read.table function. And the read.table function allows you to tell R what the separator is. So in this case, it's still going to be a CSV file because the data values are separated by a comma. But here I actually have the statement SEP equals, and then in quotations, a comma, and then another quotations, and then the comma for the next statement, which is header equals true. But you have to know the path to your file. And in this case, my path is in my documents, and notice I just can't put in my documents. I actually have to put the whole path to that file. Now, if you're working on a Mac or a Unix machine, your path will look different than mine. Everybody's path should look different than mine because my computer is called CES. Your computer might be called something different, so you'll have to know the path. So let's give this a try. Okay, I now have my data because I had to use the second statement to show it. If you don't use that second statement, that data2 or data1, that's the actual name of your data set, you won't see it. It's just going to read it into memory. And here you can see that the first row was the header row, which was time, weight, and span. And this data set has to do with the weight of a bird and the wingspan of a bird measured every day for a certain amount of time. So it's related to growth. So anyway, this has been the video tutorial on how to import data into R. If you have any questions, please ask or watch the next video.